I found out my husband planned to dump me, so I emptied our $200 million before he could. My name is Celeste Carter, and if you had asked anyone about me 3 years ago, they'd say I was the luckiest woman alive. The Carter name is old money. I got my shares from my grandmother, and I have built my portfolio from scratch. Daniel, my husband, was the golden boy of Wall Street. Tall, charming, charismatic, he could walk into any room and people would part for him like he owned the air they breathed. We met in college. I was the smart scholarship girl, the one who thought love would protect her from the coldness of the world. We fell for each other so fast. People said it wouldn't last. They said he was there because of my status, my family, and money, but for 15 years, I believed we were unbreakable. I gave him everything. Everything literally. My 20s. My career. My body when we tried for kids for years. We had Bella and Ethan, they are my everything, beautiful and smart kids. My loyalty when the tabloids came sniffing around his affairs, which he always denied, and which I always forgave, or pretended to. I handled his businesses like they were my own. I signed the papers, managed the lawyers, built our portfolio from a modest $5 million to a family net worth of over $200 million. He always told me, Celeste, without you, I'd be nothing. I believed him. I trusted him, I loved him with all my soul. I never thought a day would come I will be out here talking about him in this way. Everything was going well. Until the night I found the email. Should I say that was the day my empire started crumbling? Or I should say that day makes me know the hidden secret. It was a Tuesday. Funny how betrayal doesn't pick special days, it just hits you on ordinary nights, when you're folding laundry or pouring a glass of wine. He was in the shower. His laptop was open. I swear I wasn't snooping. I was actually searching for an old family photo. But instead, there it was, a chain of emails to a lawyer I'd never heard of. Divorce drafts. Asset splits. A strategy to paint me as unstable. A plan to push me out quietly and keep everything. I remember standing there, barefoot, staring at the screen while the shower kept running. For a moment, I thought, hoped, it was a prank. But the dates went back 2 years. He'd been building this secret escape route while sleeping next to me every night, kissing my forehead every morning. I closed the laptop before he came out. I smiled when he asked if I wanted to join him in bed. That night, I lay awake listening to him snore, wondering how I'd been so blind. I didn't cry that night. That surprised me. I didn't even feel rage yet. Just cold. So very cold. They say hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. I disagree. The real fury is quiet. Strategic. Patient. For 2 weeks, I pretended nothing was wrong. I laughed at his jokes. Cooked his favorite meals. Even made plans for our anniversary. But behind his back, I called someone I hadn't spoken to in years, Thomas Reed, my old mentor from my analyst days. Thomas was now a corporate shark, ruthless, brilliant, discreet. I need a fortress, I told him. And I need it fast. In less than a week, Thomas set up a maze of trusts and shell companies. We shifted my personal inheritance first, my grandmother's estate in Vermont, my mother's art collection. Then, piece by piece, we started moving the investments that were legally in my name. I was careful, oh, so careful. No sudden moves that would trigger Daniel's attention. Small wire transfers. Quiet property title changes. A new Cayman account under my children's trust. At night, I would lie next to him, nodding along to his fake stories about new investors. I wondered if he could feel the hatred humming through my bones. The first week I was numb. The second week, the cracks came. I'd sit alone in the walk-in closet staring at my reflection, the silk dresses, the diamond jewelry, the trophies of a life I thought I'd won. One night, I opened our wedding album and just stared. The photos looked like strangers. The way he used to look at me, did he ever really love me? Or was I just convenient? A good investment, like stocks he could cash out when I lost value. I felt the tears build. I tried to swallow them down, but they came anyway, hot, helpless sobs into the sleeve of my robe. I remember whispering, "Why, Daniel? Why wasn't I enough?" My daughter, Bella, knocked on the door. She was only 12, old enough to know something was wrong, too young to understand how marriages rot from the inside out. I told her it was allergies. "I will be fine." She looked worried and confused. My poor baby, I had to pet her to sleep. By the third week, the numbness gave way to a hunger for answers. I needed to know why. I needed to see if any piece of my life had ever been real. So I did what I do best. I investigated, spent a lot of time doing this, thought my heart was broken, but I had to do it anyway because I couldn't believe Daniel could betray me. For all these years he has been my only one who I considered as my everything. Late at night, I'd wait for Daniel to pass out after his second bottle of wine. I'd slip his phone from under his pillow, scroll through hidden folders, read the texts. There she was, the lawyer he'd hired wasn't just his legal counsel. She was more. Her name was Serena. Blonde. Perfect teeth. 32. The emails weren't just about the divorce, they were about vacations together, the house in Aspen he bought for her. And then I found the worst piece of all, photos. Serena with 2 children. One looked just like Daniel did when he was 5. I remember sitting on the bathroom floor, the cold tile biting into my knees, scrolling through photos of this other family. Smiling. Ski trips. Birthday cakes. Secret lives built on my money, my sacrifices, my wasted years. I felt sick. I wanted to throw the phone at his sleeping head. But I didn't. I pressed my forehead to the wall and cried so quietly I swear my heart cracked wide open. I couldn't hold it alone anymore. So I did something I hadn't done in years. I called Ryan. Ryan was my college friend, my almost boyfriend before Daniel swept me away. He was kind, brilliant, a finance nerd like me. We'd lost touch after the wedding. Daniel didn't like me having male friends. But that night, I found his number in an old email. I called him. He answered on the second ring. He said my name like it was a prayer. Ryan. I don't know who else to call. He drove 4 hours that night to see me. When I opened the door, I just fell into his arms. I was broken. He held me while I shook and sobbed out the story, the divorce plot, the secret woman, the other children, the fake kisses, the way I was planning to destroy Daniel quietly. Ryan didn't judge. He didn't tell me to calm down. He just said, "Tell me what you need me to do." Ryan has always been that way. He is always ready to help. Despite the fact that I never loved him, I choose Daniel over him. I'm not sure he would have done this to me if I were to be with him. This period was tough period of my life. I was always pretending like everything is alright to my kids. Hiding my plan was one thing, hiding the truth from my kids was a different kind of agony. Bella and my son, Ethan, felt the coldness even when we tried to fake smiles at dinner. Bella caught Daniel whispering angrily on the phone. Ethan heard me crying in the laundry room. Kids know when their parents are lying. They feel it in their bones. One night, Bella crawled into my bed and asked, "Mommy, are you and Daddy getting a divorce?" I was short of words, my eyes were filled with tears. I hid those tears. I wanted to protect her, but I couldn't lie anymore. I just hugged her and said, "Mommy is going to make sure we're safe. I promise." Bella knew something was wrong. She started becoming moody and she won't eat. It was tough for me seeing my kids going through the stress. They didn't deserve any of this. The broken home. The whisper fights. The secrets. But they were my anchor. I had to protect them, and that meant finishing what I'd started. Ryan was always there. He just wanted to help. Some days I couldn't sleep. I cried myself to bed. Daniel was not so worried actually. He will ask what's wrong and I will tell him it's cramps. With Ryan's help, I found the rest. Bank accounts Daniel thought I'd never discover. Properties in Serena's name, paid for by our trust. A secret college fund for Serena's kids, stolen from the one we'd set up for Bella and Ethan. Basically, Daniel had all these plans all along. To him, I'm just a vessel to build the real life he wants with Serena. Serena has been in the picture even before we got married. I was fooled. I was used by someone I have known for over a decade, the father of 2 beautiful kids. I called Thomas, my lawyer, and gave him the green light to drain everything Daniel thought he owned, legally. I moved stocks. Froze credit lines. Switched titles. Moved funds offshore where only I could touch them. All while Daniel kept pretending we were a team. Next year will be our year, babe, he'd say. I'd kiss his cheek, take the kids out for dinner. He had no idea what I was doing behind. 3 weeks later, Daniel filed the divorce papers. He thought I'd be shocked. He thought I'd beg, cry, promise to leave quietly with whatever crumbs he tossed my way. Instead, I smiled. I signed the papers that same day, and threw his ring back at him. I can feel the shock in his eyes. Frozen accounts. Empty trusts. A mansion under foreclosure. Cars repossessed. Business partners walking away because suddenly, all the money they thought he had, was gone. I watched him panic in our living room, the same living room where he'd planned to kick me out like trash. He screamed, he threatened. He demanded I fix it. I just stood there, calm for the first time in years, and whispered, fix what? This was always mine. You just lived in it. The whole time was full of tears, troubles, and sadness. When it was all over, I sold the house. Moved in with my mom with Bella and Ethan. We started therapy. I paid for it with money Daniel thought was his. I cried in front of my kids. I let them see my fear and my strength. They deserve to know that women don't have to stay silent to survive. And Ryan? He never asked for anything. He just stayed, steady, patient. Maybe one day I'll let my heart believe in love again. For now, I'm busy rebuilding the life I almost gave away. So if you're watching this, if you've ever wondered if you should check that phone, read that email, trust your gut, do it. And if you find out he's planning to ruin you? Be smarter. Be colder. Be ready. I'm Celeste Carter. And I'm not sorry.